heading home for the holidays, welcoming family members. If there is a loved one you haven't seen in a while, there's a few things you should potentially look for, especially if we're talking about dementia. I want you to say hi to Clare Corder. She cared for her grandparent with dementia, and grandfather. A few years ago. Kristen Cusato back with us from the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter. Nice to have you both.
Thank you.
You have asked me to be in a number of Alzheimer's Association events over the years. I'm always thrilled. I'm always amazed most by the family members who take on this ginormous task of really trying to help a loved one. And there's more family members that are coming too, which could be a problem.
Boy, there are about 80,000 people living with this disease right now in Connecticut, but those are only the folks we know, and twice as many caregivers, and it really affects the whole family, right? So what's really interesting about this time of year, Matt, is because people haven't seen their loved ones in a while, our helpline calls skyrocket right after the holidays because everyone's saying, you know, what is that sign? Mom did this or that. Should I be worried about that? Is that something I need to worry about?
Well, we'll go back to the helpline in a moment because I think that's obviously the first biggest weapon that you have. But let's talk to Clare because your grandfather was diagnosed with dementia, passed away 12 years ago. But you and your aunt were there, pretty much had a front row seat. What was that like?
It was definitely difficult. The holidays could be a lot harder. I think that you're right, the caregivers do take on a lot, and one of the most important things is recognizing those signs very, very early on.
Absolutely. Now, those signs are easier to recognize when you are there day to day, but when family members are coming and they just have a few days, it could be difficult for the folks that do have the dementia.
Yes, definitely. I think that a couple of the things that you can look out for when you're coming home, and sometimes if you haven't seen that loved one in a while, it may make it easier to recognize. Some of us, you know, it's
you're
like
used
anything.
to it
When you're there, you just kind of, it progresses. But things that you can look out for are, you know, holiday traditions that seem abnormal or aren't being done the same way. If there's favorite holiday food that is normally a favorite of that person, or a drink that they don't remember or they're uninterested in, being confused by who people are when they're all coming into the house or overwhelmed. Those are other big signs.
Let's drill the major point with this because, I mean, my mother has not been diagnosed with this, and yet at older age she forgets a thing or two. But help is your friend, and there's a lot of different ways to get that.
Absolutely, and if you're not sure, just ask the questions because there are people out there everywhere that can give you the right answers, point you in the right direction.
Right. Kristen, you said the helpline numbers have exploded in the last few weeks. I can't say I'm surprised by that. What are the questions you're asking?
The questions are, what is the difference between normal aging and things that I need to worry about?
Exactly what I just brought up, right?
What is the memory concern where I need to go to the doctor? So as Claire was mentioning, if there's a recipe that tastes completely off, or mom doesn't remember how to make it, or you send dad out to go get some holiday something that you forgot, like go to the store and get some buns or something, and he comes back in an hour to a grocery store that's 10 minutes away. He might be getting lost, but not admitting it. So when you know these things and you're watching them, I think what's important is to write them down, talk to another family member, say, is this what's happening, and then educate yourself. Education is key with this disease.
Absolutely.
So go learn what the 10 signs are, learn if there's something to be concerned with, and then call that 800 number. It's 800-272-3900. I pounded into everyone's head. But call that number because they are trained professionals on the other end of the line.
Knowledge is power, and it's okay to be vulnerable, right?
Absolutely.
And there you go.
And ask for the help.
Just a whole bunch of good bits of advice here, Clare Corder. Thank you for sharing your story, Kristen Cusato. It's almost like she didn't need me for asking a question. She just went and there's the stuff. Always nice to see you.